Hey crafty friend, this is Nye with All Things Were Created. Today we are going to assemble our 3D hat box. As you can see, I have all of my pieces. They are cut out here and they're not really lined up in any particular order because there's nothing to really line up. But I had fun with choosing some pattern cardstock and mixing them together. So this is one of those crafts where you could really go crazy and have fun with the different kinds of pattern cardstock that you have. I went ahead and I made myself a sample ahead of time just because I wanted to make two. And as you can see, I've got like this dotted cardstock here, but I also used the flower cardstock that I have here that I'm going to use for my base on this box. And so you really can just have fun with choosing your cardstock. And so let's get started with the assembly. I'm going to be using my art glitter glue for my gluing here, and we are going to start with the bow first. And what you want to do is you want to take the bow and just kind of bend the paper with your finger. Be really careful that you don't rip the paper as you're bending it because it's not super big or super thick here, but you do just want to bend it just to kind of break up the fibers that are there in the paper. And then you're going to go ahead and add some glue right there. And then again, use your finger just to kind of bend it a little and then place that part right on top and hold it for a moment just to give it a second to dry there. And then do it on the other side as well. Add some more glue and then press it down. And that's going to kind of create our little bow right there for us. Then we're going to go ahead and take the little small rectangle that you have as well. And I'm going to put that one there. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a dab of glue right there to the front of the bow. And then go ahead and place that right in the center. And then what we're going to do is just glue it to the back here. And you just want to fold it on top of each other. There are no score lines with this one, even though we're going to be folding the paper. It's small enough, and I felt that we could just use our fingers to do it, and it wasn't really necessary for our machines. Okay, and then once you have it there, just hold it and give it a moment for that glue to really dry. And then if you want, you can go ahead and kind of press on the bow part just to kind of prop it up a little bit. And that's really cute. Okay, and then you're going to take the back piece here and again, just add a dab of glue right there in the center and press it together to glue it. And just hold it to make sure for maybe about 5 seconds here, just to make sure that that glue has a chance to bond. Okay. And so that's our bow. So this is going to be kind of the ribbon that goes around the top part of the hat. But we're going to do that one once we get the box totally assembled here. Okay, so we have the two pieces of these two rectangular pieces with what look like teeth here at the end. What you want to do is figure out which one is the longer piece. And so just kind of put them together, then flip them over, and you can see which one is longer. The longer piece is going to go to the top part of the hat box, and then the smaller piece is going to go underneath for the insert. You can do the same thing here with your circles. Figure out which one is the smaller one of the two, or I guess I could do it this way, and so you could see it better that way. Figure out which one is the smaller one. That's going to go with the smaller paper, and then the larger one is going to go with the larger one. So I'm going to put that one off to the side there for a second. And what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to just take my fingers and bend the paper here a little bit, because what I'm trying to do is just break up some of the fibers there in the paper so it's not so stiff. Okay. And I'm also going to find my score line, and I'm going to bend that as well. If you want to, you can use your bone folder. Mine's over here. Let me grab it. Just if you want to make that line sharp and crisp. And you want to go ahead and begin to fold those teeth down. And again, if you want to use your bone folder here, that's fine. I tried to make sure that these were large enough so that way they would be easy for us to do with our fingers. But if you want to go ahead at the end, so once you have them, just press them down and then use your bone folder just to make it all nice and crisp and sharp. All right. And then just kind of open it up a little bit. And again, go back and just bend it to get that paper curved. Okay. So when we go to add this to the bottom of the hat box, you have a decision that you want to make. You want to make sure that your pattern cardstock is going to go on the outside of the hat box like this. So when you're looking at it, oh, let me grab this one up. When you're looking at it, you can see the pattern. You don't want it to be the white that way. You want it to show the pattern like that. But you have a decision that you can make. When you open up your hat box, do you want to see the pattern again, or do you want to see the white? I went ahead and I did the pattern on the inside of mine here, my sample one, and I'm gonna do the same thing for this one as well. So when you're doing that, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the teeth are being glued to the bottom of your insert here. So you're gonna have the white part of your cardstock glued to the white part of your cardstock. If you wanted it the other way, then you would just flip it over. But I'm gonna do mine this way. And this part is kind of hard and kind of tedious because what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are getting the cardstock here as close to the circle as possible. So that way everything fits perfectly at the end, and also to make sure that well, yeah, I guess that's really just it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start gluing. What I'm gonna do is I'm doing a little bit at a time because there's no rush. You really wanna take your time to make sure that everything is gluing down correctly. And you wanna press the paper up, it doesn't matter where you start, press the paper as close to the edge and then really just kind of come along in there and push it up underneath. See what I'm doing here? Come along as close as possible to the inside there and push those teeth against the paper. And then add more glue as you're going there, right to the teeth of the paper. Okay. And then just keep going there, pressing it from the bottom as well. And then adding more glue as you need to. So you might see a little bit of glue coming out too with the top. That's okay, because remember, if you're using the art glitter glue like I am, it's gonna dry clear. We don't have anything to worry about. There's not gonna be like white glue showing everywhere in our project here. All right, so I'm almost there at the end. And so you also have a decision to make when you get close to the end. Do you want this flap to be on the outside? It's gonna be towards the back, or if you want it to be on the inside, but you'll see it on the inside. Let me show you really quick here. You'll see the flap here on the inside, but we have to have a way to seal the box. So you have a decision to make. Do you want it to be on the inside or the outside? I'm gonna again do mine on the inside, so that way, because I think it looks a little neater when it's on the inside, I'm gonna go ahead and add it right here to the tab as well. But again, that's your personal choice in how you want to assemble it. And remember, you want to get as close as possible. And there we go. All right. So you can see mine right there. Okay, so that's how we do that part. And then you're not going to be able to see this part either because of my pattern paper. Remember the score lines that we made when we were getting ready to cut? I can see them here on my circle, my larger circle. What you're going to do is you're going to add your glue to the bottom of the bottom of the box, to the brim, I guess, of the hat here. You want to line it up because those score lines now are going to be our guideline. I've got my light here too. All right. So you want to line it up so it's kind of right in the center, and then just press it down again to give the glue a chance to dry. It's already shaping up and it's so awesome. I love it. Okay, so now we're going to do the top part as well. Same thing basically as what we did for this part of the hat box. I'm just pushing my teeth down here, and then I'm going to use my bone folder to make those lines crisp. And I'm going to speed up the video here just really quick. Okay, so I did that part. Now, same thing, I'm just using my finger to kind of bend the paper to get that curve going and break up those fibers so the paper is not so hard to work with. And, okay. And what we're going to do now is, because we want this to be the top part of our box, we want to make sure that the white, or the bottom part of our top, is going to land right on top here of our teeth, okay? So again, I'm going to use my glue, and I'm just going to take my time, and I'm going to add a little bit as we go. All right. So again, just lining it up. It doesn't really matter where you start, just as long as you are adding it right there to the edge. And I should say, I'm using my thumb here to help me get it right up against the edge here. I can feel the top part of the hat against the edge of my paper, and that's how I know that everything is lining up and it's not off a little like that. So I'm going to keep adding my glue to these teeth here, and just pressing it down as I go, and using my fingers, like I said, as like my guide to make sure that everything is getting right there at the edge. And then I'm adding more glue. And I'm just going to keep going here. I'm going to come in on this side so you guys can see a little bit better. And remember, when we're gluing, you have about 5 seconds before the glue really bonds to the paper and you're stuck, to shift things around if you need to. And so now for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the tab to close mine off, I hope I didn't go out of my camera there, is on the inside. So, okay, I added my glue there. I'm going to hold this part here. I'm going to add it to the tab. And there we go. So I'm going to get the edges sealed, and then I'm going to kind of go back in and just make sure that my teeth are hooked to my paper there, and that everything lines up. Okay. Alrighty, so there we go. Okay, so now I'm ready to take my ribbon to add it to the top of my hat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this, not the end that has the tab, but the end that does not have the tab. I'm going to line it up And before I add my glue to this side, I'm going to use my finger and hold this part here, and I'm actually going to start adding my glue from the other side. I'm not going to add my glue right here yet because I'm going to need space to come underneath the other side with the tab to then seal it. So I'm going to hold my finger here at the edge. I'm lining everything up with the seam. I'm going to go in about a thumb's width. I'm going to flip it over, and now I'm going to start adding my glue here. And you can go a little faster with this part because you just can. But I'm also going to make sure that I'm using my finger here and I'm lining up along the edge. And then I'm coming in again to add more glue as I go around. And I'm using my finger again to maintain the edge. And if you start to go off just a little bit, remember, you've got that 5 seconds before the glue really starts to dry. Okay, and then I'm going to do this part here, using my thumb again. And what you're going to do now is you're going to take that flap and put it right underneath and then seal everything up. So I'm going to put it there, then I'm going to come back this way. And now I have a little bit left, but I'm going to seal it right here. And there we go. So it lined up. And so my seams are completely matching here, but this part's underneath. All right. Oh, it's so cute. And I love the different pattern cardstock there. All right. So wait, I guess before I add this one, well, I'm going to place it down first. And what you also want to do is when you place it down is you can take those seams and just line them up so that way everything meets right there. And then I'm going to take my bow, add my glue now to the back here, and find my seam, and then just place the bow right kind of in the center there. And so you can see it. And oh, this is so cute, right? Oh, the inspiration for this one was from an old movie that I loved when I was a kid, when I was younger, I should say. And so the gal in the movie had a hat that was similar to this, and I thought it would be fun too. That was my inspiration for it. So I just took my treats and I added them inside. It's kind of perfect for Mother's Day if your mom wore hats like this. I don't know, but I just thought this was a fun little craft. And so there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed making this one. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and happy crafting.